Namaste to everyone on this wonderful occasion of International Day of Yoga. This is a extraordinary wonderful festival, International Day of Yoga. The greatest contribution from the most ancient sages from a living, vibrant kind of a culture, Sanatana Dharma, to the whole world over. It's not just barring anybody. There are several festivals introduced over a period of time, like the way that the countries, when they got the freedom, independence, that they introduced independent days and celebrations. Similarly, we have occasional festivals like the way that Diabetes Day or Hypertension Day, something like that, signifying certain particular section of people, certain understanding. But then this particular idea or religions have given something like a Diwali or Dashara or the Christmas, something like that. But they all belong to a particular section of people. But International Day of Yoga is something which belongs to everybody on the planet Earth. And it's a very deep, genuine concern of the people who have really gone deep inside in trying to understand the mankind and the need. These are the people who have given us this idea of yoga. And now the world is catching up with that idea of yoga so much that there is no country on the face of the earth who is not practicing this particular aspect of yoga, at least who are not aware of this idea of yoga. Now, in this context, one more important aspect is that this International Day of Yoga, I thought that most significant way that we could remember this is with a universal prayer that almost like Shanti Mantra, almost like all over the world that people are familiar with that and they are doing that, and that's what is Sarvebhavantu Sukhinaha. It's such a universal prayer, and all that signifies the significance that you find it in that prayer is directly related with the International Day of Yoga, where we said health, harmony, and peace. I think that's what is the most important requirement of today in the world, understanding the right way. So therefore, I thought on this particular day of International Day of Yoga, the message we must spread around the world is this Shanti Mantra, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We use it as a prayer, we use it as a Shanti Mantra, but very important, significant idea about this mantra, I thought I will bring about today in my presentation here. From the ages, this particular mantra has been part of this Sanatana Dharma. We really do not know the origin where this mantra comes from. It is from the Vedas. And not only this one mantra in Vedas, that there are similar idea mantras that are there. Sarve cha sukhinas santu, etc., etc. Either in the bits or whole that these mantras are used in the Vedas, the most ancient literature of the mankind. So out of all these mantras, the most popular mantra is Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. A very simple translation of this particular mantra is, may all be happy, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. May all be free from sickness, ailments, Sarve Santu Niramayaha. May all see auspicious, may all see good, perceive good, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Nobody let be stricken by the grief or unhappiness, dukkha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, the peace, peace, peace. And this way, this simple translation of this mantra. But when you go deep into the actual significance of this mantra, it has very deep. like many other Upanishad mantras, when you try to actually explore into that mantra gives us such an extraordinary significant meaning. The same way in this mantra also, he says that Upanishad sage said, Sarvebhavantu Sukhinah. May all be happy. When we look at various words in that, it says that all be happy. All means what? All means what are the people who are involved? What are the things that are involved? One thing is that all means let all the species on this earth be happy, whether it is the animal, whether it is an insect, anything that is there, let it be happy, is the significance idea of this Upanishad sage. When he said that may all be happy, when Upanishad sage gives this particular mantra, it is actually the way that we look at it, it is the blessing given to the mankind. Because these are the people who have realized the truth, who have understood the truth from the depth of origin, and from that point of view, they give the blessing. Blessing is, I don't know how significant in the other parts of the world, but in this particular culture, blessing is very important. We seek the blessings of elders, we seek the blessings of the knowledgeable, and we also seek the blessings of our own parents, our own teachers. So the blessing, and not only that, we also seek the blessings from a cow and from snake. We have festivals to see that we seek the blessings of a snake. So like that, blessing seeking is something which is very important in this particular culture. Actually, when you look at this mantra, it is also like the way that we seek the blessings from the most ancient, most realized kind of a people that are there from across the time. It is time immemorial. It doesn't belong to only at that time, even till today, that the people, even today, when the people are there who can really be knowledgeable and all that, we seek the blessings. And that is why we see so many saints in this planet, in this part of the planet, that's what is in India, that people go and follow them, whether it is living or just a little past that time, like such a Sai Baba. All these people are significant, their blessings are significant. What do you mean by this blessing? Let me tell you, go into that. Afterwards, I'll go into the meaning of this. Blessings are actually when they look at you and then your ability, what you cannot see yourself, they see something which is much more deeper than what you can perceive. And they know that what all possibilities that you have, and that signifying that they give you blessing. That I bless you to pass in the exam. That means I know very well that you might have some hesitation, but you have enough ability to see that you pass exam with colors. So that is why the blessing is something which is given to you. The same way that I don't know whether I'll be going to be successful or not. We have the text where the blessings are given in the form of Vijayi Bhava. That means to say, be successful. Like that, the elderly people, they bless us, and that blessing will give us the enormous amount of additional strength. Yes, I studied, I educated, I did myself, but then there is a corner of me that there is something, a hesitation that is there. Will I be successful or not? Will I be able to manage it or not? That set of uncertainty that is there within me, with one blessing, it can easily remove all that, and you can go with the extraordinary degree of confidence. And that is what we see, that particularly in the war field of Mahabharata, that they go and seek the blessings. Even the enemy leader that is there, Bhishma, then Duryodhana, Yudhishthira, he sends the arrows to seek the blessings of such great people, the teacher and the elderly people like Bhishma, Drona, etc. So that means it's so important. Further, if I have to say that when they give the blessing, that means to say that you have an ability to pursue that. That's what is blessing is given. And they are so significantly incited that if you don't have it, they don't give you. Like for example, Duryodhana goes to his mother to seek the blessings before the war. Mother Gandhari says that, my dear child, that be happy, that's the only thing. But the son says to mothers, I came before this war and please bless me, victory in the war. And she also says, my dear son, I don't know how I can bless you that with this particular mind, because my mind is not really confident about that. He goes to Bhishma and asks for the blessing. Bhishma also did not give the victory blessing. He says, why don't you give me victory blessing? All that victory blessings that you have is for the Arjuna. He says, Bhishma laughs and he says that even your mother doesn't give you that blessing. How can I give you? You don't have it. Actually, if a wise person is there, when he looks at elderly person, knowledgeable person like Bhishma, would have said, okay, please guide me in what direction I have to go. So that means to say blessing is so significant. Even in the case of Rama, that you can see that when he went for war with Ravan, at that time he had a little bit hesitation because of some failures on the way. And at that time, look at the way that Agastya comes all the way to bless Rama, saying that, look, we are going to win the war. That was such a great significance, that event in the life of Rama, to see that finally he vanquished Ravan. So every time blessing has been such an important, significant idea. But at the same time, when somebody blesses for you a victory, that means you can't sit peacefully say that, oh, I'm going to get anyway victory, so I don't have to do anything for myself. It's not like that. You still have to work for that. Any blessing given is basically that what you could not see within you, they were able to see it, and therefore that they bless you. But now, having gotten that blessing, now you search for yourself all the equipment within you, ability within you, to see that you make that blessing reality. That's a very beautiful way that Mahabharata again, when after that day's war and they were resting in the camp at that time, Yudhishthira and Arjuna, they go to Bhishma, and Bhishma asked, what brought you here? He said that we have come here to return your blessings. Bhishma was shocked. He said, what do you mean by that? You gave us the blessing, that is victory for us, and then we want to give that blessing back to you. How important that blessing means. Then Bhishma looks at them and asks, why are you returning that? Blessings are given to actualize that. Then Yudhishthira replies to him saying that between the blessing and its actuality, you are standing, and you are somebody, we can't conquer you. Therefore, best thing is to return the blessings. I don't want to go into the details of the story there, but most important thing is, blessings are so important. When the Upanishad rishis say to these blessings, Sarvebhavantu sukhinaha, it has to give a hair-raising experience to you, because so many saints, sages collectively, that they have looked at you, and then they're from various other worlds around, they have given you this blessing, Sarvebhavantu sukhinaha. That's what we chant every time when we do yoga or any activity that we say, we chant this particular thing, because basically it is something which touches our pores, which touches our core. So that's why this is very significant. So once we know that this is such a significant blessing, let us try to understand what is this blessing. He says, Sarvebhavantu sukhinaha. That means one thing very clear, that all these sages, saints from the ancient times, 10,000 years of culture, they have perceived us deep inside what we do not know, and they perceived, and from that perception of them, the assurance came that you can be happy. And that's what our deep inside shows, that Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. That Sarve means everybody on this planet Earth. No, but this is something which is coming from Sanatana Dharma, coming from Hinduism. Therefore, do you mean to say that this blessing is for the Hindus? This is not for the sake of other religions or other faiths, other thing like that? Nothing like that. Basically, at one point is at that time, that when these blessings were given by the sages, at that time, none of these things existed. All that there was only a one mankind. And it signifies to it a significance of one mankind that they are talking about. There were no these divisions that are there. Therefore, basically, that this Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, when we say that, it does not discriminate based on religion, based on caste, based on creed, not even based on your education qualification. Somebody is educated can be happy, not educated should not be happy. It is not like that. Whether you are educated, uneducated, whether you are highly brilliant, or it may be that you are mentally challenged, Anybody can be happy because that there is, Rishi says that there is a possibility with whatever it is there, that you have something within you which makes you feel happy. It's irrespective of the world outside, that you have something significantly which makes you feel happy. Therefore, Sarvebhavantu Sukhinaha, that survey includes everybody. You mean to say that it includes men and women? Yes, there is absolutely no difference between that, because the mother is also woman. Woman is also mother, woman is also sister, woman is also that your counterpart. So therefore, basically, men and women together, that's what the mankind is all about. So therefore, let everybody be happy. But one last question still remains, one doubt remains on the student, and that is, you mean to say Sarvebhavantu Sukhinaha includes good people and also bad people? And this is where the most important penetrating idea that Upanishad says gives us, let everybody be happy. Good also be happy, bad also to be happy. Wow, this is something intellectuals cannot digest it. They always feel that good should be happy so that good prevails, but the bad should not be happy so that they continue to be bad. They stop being from being bad. If they are happy, then they continue to be bad. So therefore, at least this should discriminate between this. Good should be happy, bad should not be happy. But even that kind of a categorization is also not there in the Rishi's mind. Why it is not there? Basically, that we have an idea that some people are basically good, some people are basically bad. So therefore, we say that categorize originally people into good people and bad people. No, there is nothing like good people originally, good people, bad people originally. All are good. By default, everybody is good. By default, everybody is nice. This is what is the basic principle on which that not only that our sages have said, but when you look into yourself, is it not that kind of a thing that is there? Even in our normal simple transaction, I mean, one may not know about all the Sanatan Dharma, all these practices, everything. A simple, ordinary, common man who meets another person on the street, and then say somebody introduces you to him, saying that meet Mr. So and so. First thing that you say is that nice to meet you, pleased to meet you, good to see you. All these words show basically that from depth of the heart that you feel that that person is nice, person is good, therefore that you meet him. And that meeting is a pleasure. That's why we say that it's a pleasure to meet you. Why? Because by default, everybody is good. By default, there is not some people who are good, some people are bad. You will not say when somebody says, meet Mr. Raghuram, you will not say that, okay, nice Raghuram, okay Raghuram, I'm meeting you. But whether it is nice to meet you or not, I will tell you 1 month later. I will observe you for 1 month. I will put you on quarantine for 1 month for observation. No. Absolutely, there is no hesitation on that aspect that you feel, 1 month later you might say that, my God, I don't know why I met Raghuram. That's a different issue. But by default, we are all good. By default, everybody is good. And there are occasions where the goodness springs up so naturally, like the way that somebody may be harsh to everybody else, but then his own children come. Is he not something he is very good? It comes from the heart. So deep inside at the heart level, Hridaya Kamala Madhye, that means at the center of your heart, you always have that divinity within you. Therefore, all that what we need to explore that. In fact, the people are bad. Why? Outside. Some people are bad outside because that they have thought that they are not happy, they don't have happiness within them, or their happiness has been disturbed by the world outside, that they are unhappy because of somebody else or the other. Even greatest philosophers like Karl Marx, he says that the poor people are poor, the people are unhappy because of the rich people. And this particular idea has been drilled into their head, and therefore basically that we always feel that my unhappiness is because of somebody else. My misery is always because of somebody else. As a result of it, today, man has become an enemy for another man. Therefore, basically that we developed violence. How many significant ways that many religious ideas or beliefs, they say that you are good if you follow this, you are not good if you do not follow that. You are happy, therefore that what you follow, what the If you follow this idea, then you should be happy. If you do not follow this idea, you should not be happy. And I can even go to the extent of creating that unhappiness for you. This is how basically mankind has been divided. But whereas this prayer, this particular mantra, Shanti mantra says, Sarvebhavantu sukhinaha, may all be happy. There's another very important idea that may all be happy, saying because of this idea, it involves everybody. That means to say, irrespective of anything that is there in the world outside, that we have possibility to be happy. Only thing is that we need to explore that happiness. Whether it is a caveman, or whether it is most modern developed man, or whether it is a small little child, or the most adult person that is there, everybody can find that happiness within himself. We are the storehouse of that happiness. We need to explore that. Therefore, that there is always a significant journey, life journey that is there. We are born, we are here, and like the way that we are fullness, and we have that happiness within us. Now the journey is to explore that happiness. Kimanandasya mimamsyam, that we need to really look into that happiness within us. So you find happiness within us, then you don't unnecessarily destroy the world outside. People have wrong notions saying that their happiness is by destroying the world outside, by causing injury to somebody, by becoming a devourer of something that is there outside. No, you are happiness yourself. This is what Swami Vivekananda also said, that each soul is potentially divine. The divinity is there within us. It is hidden deep inside in a potential way. We need to explore that. And that exploration is the journey that we are making by saying, taking the support of the Rishi's idea, Sarvebhavantu sukhinaha, may all be happy. Now let us make in the journey to see that how can I find happiness within me. This is what is the greatest spiritual journey that one has to make. And Sukha is basically, it has contained two important points where Kham means Akasha, Kham means basically the space, and Su, my space is for the right use, for the right way, it has to be done. It gives me happiness, gives the other happiness, makes the other feel satisfied, peaceful, that's what is Shanti, makes me also peaceful. This is what also another statement what Vivekananda said, that expansion is life, contraction is death. That means to say the more and more that I create that spaceness within me, that expansion within me, and that's what is Sukha. And let me not create any boundaries. Let me remove all the boundaries wherever it is possible. Only the boundaries that I can have is only boundaries which are necessary for managing in this world. Like for example, I say this is my house. Not that I'm creating any boundary. Anybody can come to my house and be there happy. But only thing is that for me to transact about these things, like that we create a local boundaries. Like for example, this institution I work for. But it does not mean to exclude the other things. It's only for the sake of convenience that we make this kind of boundaries. It is man-made boundaries. But being boundary free is deep inside our own nature. So Sarvebhavantu sukhinaha, may all be happy. It's not only that human being, but all the other species, for the simple reason that human being is somebody who has the highest degree of manifest consciousness. He can think, he can analyze, and he can also contribute to the world outside more than anything else. But then he should be able to do that. And that is what is Sarvebhavantu sukhinaha. In the sense that when I'm there, all the other species who are there around me also will be happy. In fact, part of this culture, we used to have significantly various practices in this culture. Like for example, people sit on the floor and then eat, and then a plate. And then in this culture, it is like that. No insect should come and disturb the food that is there. They used to put a boundary around that with the water. And after that, they take few grains of rice and put it outside that boundary so that any other insect would like to have it, they can have it. This is the kind of practice that we used to have it. Similarly, that anybody who walks into the house anytime will have food. And even the animals that we provide food, we used to have that kind of a culture that was there, signifying that let every creature be on this earth be free. In fact, in Krishna's story also it comes that They were living in this Gokul, and suddenly Gokul was infested by various forest animals and all those things. And Krishna says, actually, we have occupied their place. The forest belongs to this place. So why not we just move to another place and leave this place for the animals to survive? So they moved from the Gokul to another place, Vrindavan, and that was the most significant idea of taking care of the nature. So, Sarvebhavantu Sukhinaha. Generally, from my heart of the heart, I feel that let every species on this earth be happy. That's what is the idea. Good and bad. Originally, also that everybody is good, everybody is nice. Bad because of the influence from outside. Maybe that if the bad people can become happy, they will not become bad anymore, they'll become good. Because the significantly that love, compassion that you show can change a person from bad to become good. They don't become bad. That is what basically Narada in Bhakti Sutras says, that if you practice bhakti, love, immense degree, abundance of love, and what happens? Satarate, satarate, salokan tarayate. It not only improves you, helps you better, but it helps the others also to change. That's what we have seen in the life of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. That Sharda Devi walking alone in the forest, and then a robber, a bandicoot, he stopped, shouting that who is that walking in the forest. She composed herself in a loving voice. She said, "My dear father, I'm Sharda." The moment that dacoit heard the word called father, he was so totally transformed, because there is nobody who could address him as father. And here is a lady who addressed him father. And as a result of it, he took care of her, nursed for the whole night because she was sick. And next day he deposited her to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, took all the way, gave her. This kind of an examples that they're all over the world. I don't have time to get into all the details, but this signifies saying that Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, let everybody be happy. Let us also give our love, compassion to the people who are bad, so that it can change them, transform them. What cannot be changed, love can change it. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. Sarve Santu Niramayaha. Let there not be any sickness. Because basically, health is our own nature. That's what Indian philosophy said. Swastha, that means being in the self. Swa means self, stha means being. When I'm in myself, that's what is healthy. And not only that, when in the nature, everything is according to its own nature, that's what is the healthy sign. That the plant's health is there, the way that the plant grows as its own nature and then gives all the fruits that are there and flowers that is there. That's what is the richness of the plant, and then that's what is the health of the plant. The same way for the human being. Health is our own nature. Sickness is coming from outside. Health does not require any reason. Just being there means health. When going away from myself, that's what is sickness. That means to say, sickness should have a reason. Health does not require any reason. Like the way that I said earlier, your spontaneous response for somebody is that, nice to meet you, happy to meet you, I'm so glad to meet you. It means to say, by default, that you are good. The same way, by default, we are all happy, we are all healthy. Sarve santu niramayaha. So and that's very small, little, simple way that we understand it. Like you meet somebody and ask on the way that, how are you doing? And that person says, I'm fine. And you don't ask him that, oh my God, why are you fine? You see, to be fine is our own nature. If you have a sickness, then there is a reason to ask. Or you might suspect to be reason for sickness because of some other external reasons. Like for example, today that we have all this COVID-19 and all those things that is there. And then people ask, okay, are you okay? Are you fine? With the idea saying that maybe that you are all not influenced by this COVID. That's the only thing. Not otherwise that why are you fine? It's not the question that way. Sickness should require a reason. How are you doing? Oh no, I'm not well. I have a lot of cold. Then there should be a reason. Why do you have cold? Yesterday there was rain and I was stuck up in the rain. I was just wet. I think probably that's the reason why I have cold. Similarly, if somebody says that, how are you? Are you fine? How are you doing? No, I have some stomach upset. And that person says, why do you have the stomach upset? Yesterday I attended a party, and now you don't have to tell anymore because that I know the reason for that. You abused your eating, therefore that you are sick. So sickness has to have a reason. Health does not require a reason. So Sarve Santu Niramayaha. Rishi not only indicates us that your nature is health, but Rishi also gives us a direction saying that please don't deviate from your nature. Whether you are eating, whether you are living lifestyle, achara, vichara, vyavahara, and then even you are thinking and all those things, let there be something which is a natural, healthy way of doing it. So health does not mean only at the physical level. As we know today that we exist at 5 different personality level: physical, mental, pranic, intellectual, emotional, and also spiritual. Let us have that Niramaya health at all these different levels: at the physical level, at the mental level, at the intellectual level, at the emotional level, and the spiritual level. Now, often this idea comes: what is that health in the spiritual level? The spiritual level health is that which can percolate into all these other different levels. And what is that? The most significant aspect of the spiritual level is the harmony. Let's fill ourselves with that harmony. And that's what is the harmony, which is the nature of the whole universe itself. Look at the way a plant has that beautiful harmony between the roots and the soil and the flowers and the foliage in the sky. And that harmony between that flowers and the foliage and the roots is the health of that plant. Similarly, you take a fruit, there's such a wonderful, significant harmony between the bitter seed inside and the wonderful fruit outside. And as long as that they are born together, grow to the fullness together, look at the beautiful harmony that they have. That harmony is the health of that particular fruit. Same way, if a plant can have that harmony, fruit can have that harmony, human being also has that harmony within. The simple harmony we can think of it is the harmony between hunger and eating, and harmony between our wakeful and sleep, our exertion and the relaxation. If once we could get back that harmony is the guiding factor of everything in our life, not any extraneous things that are guiding us. Once we have that harmony, that's what is basically the spiritual well-being, Niramayaha. But then when that same harmony manifests at every other personality level, then total harmony will be there within us. There is no reason to have any sickness influence from outside. Nothing can influence you. Actually, our immune system is the greatest harmony that we have within us. Not only at that various personality levels, like the mind has that harmony, intellect has that harmony, but not only that, between the body and the mind, between the mind and the emotion, let us have that harmony. Once we work on that particular harmony, that's what is Sarve Santu Niramayaha. Let there be that harmony. That's what is the health. Let there not be any sickness. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. In fact, in this harmony, one more thing that I would say, that many of these texts that they are said that if the king is very good, the kingdom is very prosperous. It is basically in that kingdom, the whole seasons they have that harmony, and then the rich and poor that they have harmony. Everywhere that there is harmony that is existing, that's what is the health of the kingdom. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Let us look at everything positive way and in an auspicious way. See, that means the things outside, they are not neither positive nor negative. They are what they are. Like the way that the coconut, beautiful, nice, wonderful water is there inside, and then hard shell that is there outside. And similarly, that when you take the fruit, there's a bitter skin that is there outside, but the wonderful sweet fruit is there inside. Soft fruit is there, but hard seeds are there in between. All these things are there in the nature. So nature is combination of both these things that are there. Various qualities which are opposite in nature, they're all there in this nature. Each has its significant way to do that function. It is there. But it is your perception whether you look at something which is positive or whether it is something which is negative. Like the way that I want to drink the coconut water, for me, that coconut water is something which I look for. All other things that I don't say that they are bad, but I just remove it. I don't eat it. But if somebody takes a coconut and then not only drinks water, and is also eating all the skin, saying that I paid for this, how horrible the skin is, and it looks bad. So you see the negative because that what you are not supposed to do it, you are doing it. So if you are doing what you are supposed to do it right way, and then look at the world, then you have an idea that you can look at the world in a positive way. Sarvebhavantu pashyantu. It's really auspicious. With all that thorns that are there in the rose plant, because you want to offer the beautiful flower to the god or nice way that to decorate, you just go and remove that particular flower and then take it out and do it. But then rose plant has both thorns and also flowers that are there. It's up to you whether you would see the flowers or whether you see the thorns. A person who sees only negativity in the world, this is what is pessimist. And a person who sees positive is supposed to be optimist. And one person who sees everything as auspicious, likes to see something which is auspicious, he's a spiritualistic person. For him, things are something which is extraordinarily significant. But for a person who is pessimist, who sees negative, everything looks negative. So therefore, even if you take him to a nice, wonderful rose garden, he will say, why do you call it as rose garden? It's a thorn garden. Because he has a reason to say that it is thorn garden. Whatever that you want to do it, your intellect always supplies the logic for that. Then you ask him, why do you say thorn garden? He said that you look at the number of roses and the number of thorns on a plant. At least for one rose that there are 10 thorns. That means to say thorns are more outnumbering than the roses. Then why do you call it as rose garden? You should call it as thorn garden. Because thorns are more. And that's what is democracy. Democracy says that head count is more. They are the ruling. Therefore, this garden, the ruling is by the thorns, not the roses. See, he has a logic behind it. Say, no, but don't you see that, that beautiful flowers come up, which was not there yesterday, today it has come up. Even then he has an argument, a negative way for that, in a pessimistic way. He said, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say to you, that roses are the coming and going, whereas thorns are the permanent members in this particular garden. Roses come only when it is season, they come and go. They are the B1, B2 visa, they are the temporary visa, visitor visa. But the thorns are the permanent members here, therefore we should call it as thorn garden, not rose garden. So difficult to convince these people who are pessimistic. But in spite of it, you say, no, you do not lose the heart. You still want to convince them and saying that, look at the flowers, they're so beautiful. And in fact, I would say that even the thorns are also nice because thorns are protecting the roses from anybody touching them. Is it not something which is positive? He says, no. Roses try to attract you so that thorns can prick you. He finds negativity even in the roses. So therefore, the negativity or positivity, pessimism, optimism is not in the world outside, but in the way that you perceive the world. Whereas Rishi constantly says that, look at this whole culture, look at everything, everything is nothing but positive. Sarvebhavantu pashyantu. If you are looking at these things in a positive way, then that helps you to contribute to the world. You give to the world. The moment you say that this world is positive, then there is all the more that energy that comes from within you to give to the world. You give to the world. So like the way that, look at the nature that is there. If you have that kind of an attitude, in the nature that you see everything is contributing. Like the way that, what is that the plant asks for? A glass of water and small little manure. But look at the way how significantly it gives nice wonderful flowers, spreads the whole atmosphere with the beauty and also nice fragrance, and it invites all the various bees and all those things to live. That means to say, you just give some little glass of water to a plant and the plant does so much for the whole nature. That means to say, what it takes is so little, what gives it to the world is so enormous. A big tree is there, you don't even give water to that. Nature only gives water, but every season after season it gives you thousands of wonderful, delicious fruits. Including an earthworm on this earth, not only lives for such an insignificant way, but it contributes so much that earthworm makes the earth fertile. A soap bubble, inside there is nothing, outside there is nothing, separated by a thin film of soap that is there. But in spite of that, it doesn't have anything. And also, it lives for such a short period of time, maybe half a minute that it lives. But then, in that short time, with nothing inside, nothing outside, look at the way that it contributes to the world. It maintains a nice, wonderful, geometrical, spherical shape, which you can't do otherwise. And it fills you with that delight. And not only that, it flies freely in the air beautifully, not being bound by the gravity. And added to that, the sun that is there can light not only reflect but refract, creating the whole rainbow colors on that. And then it dies. So it's not important how long that the soap bubble lives, but most importantly, how an extraordinary, wonderful contribution that the soap bubble has done. That's what the Rishi says, that the whole nature is adding something or the other to the nature, giving to the nature. And that's the reason why this world survived, this earth, planet Earth, survived so beautifully, brilliantly, every time it is being enriched. For a earthworm to come onto this world and then die, the earth becomes richer. A plant gives the flowers, make the earth richer. Only person who consumes on that earth is human being. We consume. Please significantly think of it. This world is a wonderful place. Therefore, it has become wonderful because you give it. So let us go to this world to give something to the world. That's what Upanishad says. Jivane yavada danam syat pradhanam tatodikam ityesha prarthana smakam. Let me give more than what I take from this world, so that my being in this world makes this world richer. When I make this world richer, that's what is the significant idea when we say that Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. You look at that way, and that's what is the right way of looking at this universe. Look at this world. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. You know how much it purifies you. Your whole mind becomes positive, heart fills with joy, every day becomes like a celebration. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhak Bhavet. When you fill yourself with that positivity, when you give to the world more than what you take, when you have this kind of a yajna drishti, the concept of doing the God's work in this world, then where is the question of dukkha? Let the soul, mankind, not have any unhappiness, may not have any misery. Yes, happiness, the situations will happen. Somebody dies, somebody is born, something happens, some failure occurs in some endeavor. All those things are part of life. But let us not get stuck with that. Let us move on. Ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Idea is that events do happen, but we will not get stuck with that. And a positive sense of vigor, a positive way of approach, let us march forward. This positive way of marching forward is the significant way yoga is all about. Therefore, this particular mantra signifies the idea of this International Day of Yoga. We are celebrating yoga. Every moment will become like an extraordinary, wonderful celebration. As I said, that various religions, various castes, various institutions have given various festivals. But this one festival that has given International Day of Yoga, let us raise it to the level of not just only observing yoga for half an hour a day, 1 hour a day, or something like that. Let us raise it to the level of, as I said earlier, this Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. It is not just only saying good, but something which is auspicious. So this day, International Day of Yoga, in my way, my view, it is more auspicious than the other festivals that we do in the name of some god or the other. But this festival is something which we do in the name of mankind, which belongs to the mankind. Let us celebrate this and let us take the spirit of yoga along with us as long as that we are on this earth. And then we pass it on to the generation after generation, like the way that the sages have passed on with their wonderful way of blessing us. Sarve bhavantu skinaha, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Thank you everyone. Namaste.